With the holiday season behind us, there's no better time than the present than to really reset our spaces for the winter season. In this video, I'm going to share with you guys my top tricks to getting your space to feel really elevated but calming in a budget-friendly way. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. First things first, we have to take down all of the Christmas decorations. And in addition to that, I actually just take everything off the shelves. The new year is a really great time to just get in there, wipe down all your shelves, wipe down all your decor, really give everything a nice fresh start. With everything then cleared off, now it's just time to style our open shelving. So when it comes to collecting your items, starting off with, of course, books. No bookshelf styling is complete without some books. And I find most of the books that I have at the thrift store. Now, of course, just mixing those in with some books that have been gifted to me in the past, and then just giving a really curated and collected feel, but on a budget. To add that visual height and depth, adding some leaned artwork or a leaned mirror is always a nice option. It just gives another element to your styling. If you're choosing an element like I am, for example, glass, that should be repeated at least 3 times in your shelf styling. And thrifting glassware can be a really great way to save. Of every category, I would say this is the easiest one to come by, and you can find really great pieces that will add that cohesion to your space, but definitely on a budget. The next element I personally like to add is primitive or rustic wood pieces. I think they just add a lot of depth and character. Now you can thrift these like I have in the past, or you can try to make things yourself. I've made both of these using Dollar Tree materials. And for me, that adds to the personalization, because if I didn't make it, I found it, I remember where I found it, and I was happy that I found it, and now I can display it on my shelf. Now let's talk about incorporating our metal pieces into our shelf styling. So for me personally, I like to stick to 2. I think 1 feels a little bit flat and boring, and I think 3 just feels a little bit too busy for this space. When you're determining which types of metals to use in your shelf styling, I would look around the rest of your room as a guide. So I have these black side tables here, so adding black metal into my shelf styling is an obvious choice. And then of course the hardware on the cabinetry is an aged brass, making that the second option. You also want to make sure that the metals that you're adding are evidently different, and that they also have the same finish and undertone. And the goal when you're styling open shelving, or just any shelving in general, it's not symmetry, it's about creating balance. So if you have black metal that feels pretty heavy on one side of your shelves, you should have something that is also black metal that is a different shape but carries the same or similar weight on the other side to again create that balance. So the last element I personally like to add is ceramics. And this can be done on a shoestring budget by just shopping at the thrift store, going frequently, and choosing pieces that again fall in line with the color palette of the rest of your space. I've saved hundreds, if not thousands, thrifting my ceramics, and this can come in the form of bowls, vases, candle holders, lighting. Again, we're not buying the exact same things, we're buying things that are the same material in different shapes. So again, you want to start with a nice clean slate, and then behind you should be everything that you've collected. The priority usually for me is hiding any eyesores. So any outlets or any light switches need to be covered first. Once that selection has been made, every other selection for that shelf becomes much easier. And if something's not working, try changing the orientation of the item, and you might surprise yourself in how just doing that simple trick makes it work. And then that becomes your jumping off point. So what does that mean exactly? Is I will style this shelf entirely. So I'll add in different elements that are different shapes, different heights. That's what you really want to keep in mind. So let's take this tray, for example. I have this primitive tray here. So above it, you don't want to add something that's the exact same item. So I wouldn't put like 2 trays on top of each other. I also don't want to put 2 primitive pieces or wood pieces on top of each other. So that can kind of eliminate some of the items that you would want to add. And again, the goal is to create balance. So putting a wood piece, again, that's diagonal to this primitive caddy is a good option. As for this side, I know now, okay, I can't put a picture leaned up against the wall above it. I also can't put books directly above that because it's not going to feel balanced. It's too much of the same thing. And as I'm looking at my shelves, while I think they are starting to feel balanced, they're also so boring. So one way to really liven them up, it just wakes them up immediately, is to add greenery. And as you can see, that just really, again, like breathed life into these shelves that it desperately needed. And I'll just keep following that same pattern and rhythm until all of the shelves are completely styled. Now, I'll also step back several times just to make sure that really is the case. And even in a couple weeks, a few things might change. So give yourself the license to tinker. This is your space. And you have more than every right for your space to reflect your personal interior design style. Moving along now to textiles. So I have a few options. I could choose to just do 2 white mirroring couches, or choose to add in an accent chair. And I think for winter, adding in velvet is a really nice option. I have this green velvet chair. I'm just going to place in this corner with this thrifted aged brass. As for the rest of the textiles like blankets and pillows and things like that, I primarily like to stick to textiles that are reflective of that season. So we're in winter, so of course you have your faux fur. Definitely don't need to go to Pottery Barn to get a faux fur pillow. I found this Pottery Barn faux fur black pillow at my local thrift shop, the Hartville thrift shop, for just $3. Also found 2 of these as well, again at just $3 a piece. Also found these faux fur blankets and pillows from Crazy Bins at just $5 a piece. And I know for a lot of people after the holidays, budgets can feel even tighter than usual, so try to find those areas where you can save but still get a really beautiful Moving along to the next space that I really wanted to tackle. So often I think we get just used to keeping things the way they are, but you really need to ask yourself, are all of your spaces performing as functional and optimal as absolutely possible? For example, this office was an area that my husband would often go to study for his CRNA boards. He's passed his boards, he's been working for months, so now do we really need to keep this as an office, or could it become something that we would use much more? And I'm not really somebody who likes to make New Year's resolutions, but just an overall goal I think my husband and I have for this year in 2026 is just to be healthier, to eat a little bit better, to exercise more, and I want to make it easy for us to do those things. So rather than keep this space as an office that no one was using for the last several months, is to turn this into an exercise wellness room. So if you know me and you know this channel, we are going to try to reuse as much as we can, and the things that we are going to purchase, we want to make sure that we're being really smart about those purchases and either shopping secondhand, checking out Facebook Marketplace. But even rather than go to Mac.bid or Facebook Marketplace or even the thrift store, I checked with family first. So my father-in-law was getting ready to get rid of this treadmill. He just doesn't use it. It's an old Nordic track, so it's not like the top of the line anything, which is fine because again, this is just something to see if we're actually going to use it as much as we think we're going to before dropping hundreds of dollars on a piece of exercise equipment that we're not necessarily sure that we're going to use all the time. So the only thing, and this is just like because I'm crazy and picky, that I want to do is just cover this up and of course just like clean it really well, just bring it back to life. But you guys already know, like this is a hard no for me. So we're gonna cover those up. I ordered some just black vinyl. We're just gonna attach that on there and it's just gonna give it a more modern look. Now, of course, this isn't going to be a monumental difference, but just making that $6 investment in the vinyl to make this just look a little bit more neutral. Sometimes I find that when I'm not liking a space, it's these small little annoyances that interrupt me really loving a space. So if you're the same way, just make that small investment and then you'll be much happier with the end result. As for the rest of the exercise equipment, so much of this you can find at the thrift store. For example, I found this Lululemon yoga mat. These retail for almost $100 because I found it at the bins and it's priced per pound. This was under $8 for a really high quality piece of exercise equipment on a budget. And that really holds true for all of these pieces, like yoga balls. Yeah, you can go to Target and spend $16, or you can go to your thrift store and spend literally $1. Disinfect it, of course, really well. Same deal for yoga blocks. I find stuff like this all the time at the thrift store. I don't know how much this cost at Lululemon, but I can pretty much guarantee it wasn't only $1. And not only that, there's just so many options to choose from. And so often I find that people buy these things with the best of intentions and then they just never really use them, which if you shop secondhand like I do, does put you in a really good spot because you can get basically never used brand new things that just really need a good cleaning. They've been sitting in a basement collecting dust, and now you can use them to their full potential. And because I already have those shelves in there, I'm just going to use them to store a lot of these exercise pieces that are weight appropriate. When I was collecting ideas for the space, I knew that I wanted it to just feel really like nature inspired with ambient lighting, a nice big tree, not like a cold dungeon. That is not inspiring to me at all. So I looked at meditation rooms, yoga rooms for the rest of that kind of inspiration, and one thing that kept popping up pretty consistently was a nice big tree. Now, these probably are real, but I want something that's low maintenance and easy. And you don't always need to go to Amazon first. There are so many different options to save here. So you can go to Mac.bid. I'll link that in the description box below. You can also check Facebook Marketplace. A lot of times people are winning that auction on Mac.bid and then reselling them for a little bit more, which is what I did in this case. Ended up spending $40 on this olive tree here that was brand new in a box on Facebook Marketplace. And this is girl math at its finest. So because I saved significantly on the olive tree, I decided to invest a little bit more in this planter here. This planter is a dead ringer for something that you could find at McGee & Co. or Pottery Barn, but it's just a little bit too stark white. So I just decided to add some watered down antiquing wax, applying it just using a paper towel and then taking a dry paper towel, just removing any excess that I just want to clean up a bit. Doing this trick can just make things feel a little bit more natural and organic instead of feeling just really cold and sterile. Once that wax dried, I just needed to place the olive tree inside. This tree was actually really nice because it came in 3 parts that you just had to connect the pieces together, and then of course just fluff the branches out a bit. The other thing that was really important to me was adding some ambient lighting. Now, this space isn't the biggest, so I had to work with a lot of what I already had. You guys might remember when I installed these sconces before. One thing I did, I used these candles on my Christmas tree, and I'm just going to put them in these instead because I like the light that it gives off much better. I think it feels a lot more realistic. So good way to repurpose Christmas decor even though Christmas is over. Another light source I wanted to add was to this mirror here. So I ordered this LED strip light here and I want to attach it to the back of the mirror so it kind of has like a glow on the outside. What's nice, you guys might remember, this was a mirror that I found at the Hartville thrift shop. Oh boy, this is probably years ago. This is an old DIY project. This used to be attached to a dresser and I just mounted it with like a lock at the top there. I'll see if I can find that video and I'll link it in the description box below. But what's nice about this mirror is it has this little lip on the inside for this strip to go through. The only thing I think that kind of sucks is I have to have it plugged in all the time. So we're gonna have to get a little bit creative when it comes to like cord concealing. But I think that with all of these things on, it'll just create a really like ambient experience in a wellness workout space. You know, generally I like to have 3 light sources in every space, so adding a small, just again, ambient light to my shelf styling was an obvious choice. As for the rest of the shelf styling, just trying to use things that I've had in the past, but in just a different capacity. I had this for an ornament display over Christmas. Now I can use it to store my headphones. And of course, just like our living room, I want to also incorporate glass. It just adds a layer of femininity in a space that can lean a little bit more masculine, especially with a huge treadmill in the middle of the room. But I also just want to keep it functional too, because the shelves are not that big and I have quite a few things to store on here. So I wanted to make sure that the things that I was purchasing, I had a plan for those things. So I found this carafe that was originally from Target. I found it for $1 at the Hartville thrift shop. From the bins, I also found this small little glass container here, and we are just going to style these together, but with purpose. So for the glass container, just of course, everything gets disinfected, cleaned, polished really well, and of course make it ready for use. So my mom had given me these essential oils just thinking that I might use them. It turns out I can't use a lot of them because they're not safe for pets. So I just did a little bit of research, placed the ones that I will be able to use inside of here. And as for the carafe, I just, of course, again, cleaned it really well and then just wanted to use it to store the distilled water that we will use for our oil diffuser. So again, just seeing the glass display versus like a huge jug and like a big overpowering box of essential oils, most of them I can't use, just gives a more calming experience. And that is really the look I was going for. Other really obvious things that you could add would be like an incense bowl holder. I DIY'd this one from a bowl that I thrifted, just flipped a knob upside down, or just taking this crate that I DIY'd a little bit from the Dollar Tree. I just used some good old acrylic paint that was watered down, stained it, added a makeshift leather label, using it to store some towels that I also picked up from the Dollar Tree. Just having it displayed this way just looks a little bit more chic than in like a plastic bag or a box or something like that. Of course, adding in any ceramics or stoneware, just keeping in line with that really organic feel. Almost all of these things, if not all of these things, were thrifted. This riser here looks like a dead giveaway you could find from Olive Atelier, but again, it was just $2. And of course, books, journals, things like that, any books related to yoga or wellness or anything like that works really well in a space like this one. And you definitely don't need to go to Target or Amazon to purchase these things. You can go to your thrift store and find an abundance of books like these. These books often don't even look like they've been cracked open. I think, again, a lot of people go in with the intention that they're gonna read this book and they're gonna start this diet, but life does get in the way. So if you have a purpose for some of these things, you don't need to go and spend the retail price. Check your thrift stores first. And the last element I wanted to add, I needed some sort of textile in there because I removed the rug and the ottoman. So I found these huge pillow cushions, just added cushions from home that I already had. I do plan on adding just one button in the middle of these eventually, just to make them look more like floor pillows, but just placing them beside the olive tree just gives it a more organic meditation feel. So far, I'm so happy with this space. I can confidently tell you before doing this, I've never been in this room just because I didn't have a use for it. But now I've been working out every single morning. I feel so much better, so much stronger, so much clearer. And I was able to do it so affordably by shopping secondhand and using these tips and tricks to get there, and so can you. With all that being said, that really wraps it up for today's video. I hope that you were able to find a little bit of inspiration in that it is okay to switch things up that aren't working for you and serving you in the current season of life that you're in, and really setting yourself up for success for 2026. I hope that everybody has a fantastic week, and I will see you back here next Sunday. Bye for now.